Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and for anyone who's new, I'm Dave. How's it going? So in this video I'm going to be working on a large kind of piece of ice cube, and this will be the last video along kind of this theme, as I feel over the last 4 videos now I've kind of covered most aspects. We've touched upon kind of layering aerosols, stencil making, masking, and towards the end of this video I'll be kind of touching upon kind of layering up different layers using masking tape. But yeah, I had a lot of fun working on these images, learned an awful lot, and obviously due to popular demand I will kind of be documenting my introduction to mural art. So I'm going down to the city centre tomorrow and I'll be working on a nice big piece. I'm also kind of going to be a bit darker with the work, more kind of charcoal based stuff. Yeah, just being a tattoo artist for a very long time, I want to kind of start working on kind of some of the imagery that I'd be more kind of used to. Skulls and demons and things like that to make for fantastic pieces of artwork. So I just laid down a basic background there, just some squiggles, and what that will do is that'll just create a little bit of contrast for when I'm working on the main image itself. So in this video it's all in real time. I haven't sped up anything. I wanted to do this just so for anyone who's kind of new or kind of tuning in to kind of just learn a few little tips, you should be able to kind of see exactly what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So because this image is quite dark, I'm just kind of working from top down and I'm just kind of getting all them black tones in first, just lightly blending it out. You can see there just with the dark tones I'm just blending out my finger, and then I'll go in with a brush and kind of just smooth it out. Next week I'll be purchasing a GoPro camera, because I want to start kind of experimenting with kind of recording outdoors, as I will be kind of doing a lot of mural art. And also when I'm at home here in the studio, I'd like to maybe, don't laugh at this now, but I want to attach the GoPro to my head so anyone that's watching the video can get a first person view of what I'm seeing. It might be a little bit crazy, but I think it'll be cool. So yeah, look forward to getting the GoPro. When you're starting off these charcoal pieces, it's going to look dodgy, it's not going to look perfect. This is probably the best way to work. I personally love to cover the whole canvas before I start going in and putting in little details and that. It just makes it a lot easier. So when you're visualizing the piece, you almost want to kind of blur it so you can just see maybe 3 or 4 different tones and just try and get all them tones down. Once them tones are down, then you can go in with your smaller makeup brush and start having a little bit of fun just putting in some details. You could spend weeks on a drawing like this to get it super hyper realism. That's if you have the patience. But for the purpose of this video, we'll just be doing a nice clean finished piece. As you can see there, the camera is panning from left to right. That's something I just recently learned how to do and I think it's cool. So yeah, it's all a learning experience. It's very important to every so often to step back and take a good look at your work, because when you're focusing on one little area, you can kind of, you're not looking at the whole picture as a whole. So always step back and have a look. I just set up a canvas there in the studio for a future video, and because this is kind of like the last video along this theme, I'm going to be working on a super contrast or super high contrast skull. It's all going to be done in charcoal, but I think it'll make a really good video. And I'm a big fan of skulls. I have them tattooed all over my body, and being a tattoo artist for years, I would have tattooed hundreds, if not into the thousands of skulls. I'm sure there's people walking around the world at the moment with one of my skulls tattooed on them. And the fun thing about drawing a skull is it doesn't have to be perfect. You can make a lot of stuff up when you're working on a skull. In the drawing here at the moment, I'm just going in and, oh, actually I better backtrack a little bit. I've put down a layer of graphite powder over everything, just so there's no white left on the canvas. And now I'll go in and start erasing. When you're using the eraser, you can have as much fun as possible. Just kind of put in loads of little nicks. You can then use your makeup brush to blend the tone into what you've just erased to give it that smooth gradient. That's kind of what I'm doing there. It's more of a kind of graphic look, this particular image, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of similar to what I would have done when I was younger, and yeah, it's nice to go back and do something like this every so often. This is the fun bit, the bit I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. There is zero thought put into this. It's just being loose. I want to try now and build up loads of different layers. You can't go wrong with this. Well, you can go wrong. You can just experiment with the masking tape and just put down different layers of aerosol on top, and you get these beautiful, beautiful effects. This can be done over everything. In the future, when I start using acrylics, I'd like to maybe incorporate aerosols with acrylics on canvas to get that beautiful result. So you will notice that some of the aerosol does go on the charcoal, but I'm not too worried about this. I've sealed the charcoal. If any ink splashes or paint splashes goes on the charcoal, because it's sealed, I just go back in with more charcoal and just cover it up, just reseal it. Beautiful message to take from all this. I plan on teaching myself how to be a mural artist over the next couple of months. So although I'm just creating an image here in the studio, all these little techniques I'm using, I plan on doing this on a wall. So I'm learning with absolutely every step in creating this. That's me just come back in with the charcoal there and covering up everything, and I put a lovely, Jesus, I sound like Bob Ross now. I put a nice, I put a layer of gloss over everything, and that just seals the whole image, and yeah, it comes out awesome. But yeah guys, if you haven't subscribed, please give us a subscribe. This really helps boost the content, and I look forward to getting some new work online. But yeah, take care, see you later.